Welcome to Bituminous Kole. Is the final boarding call coming for Amtrak's Heartland Flyer? The train is said to be on the endangered list, so rather than add this train to my list of regrets, I wrote it, and I enjoyed it. The train runs between Fort Worth, Texas, and Oklahoma City, out and back every day. Well, it does for now. Let's go to Fort Worth, Texas. Let's go to Oklahoma City.
Oh, let's go to the trains.
The Heartland Flyer is Amtrak Train 821 when departing from Oklahoma City and arriving in Fort Worth, Texas. Train 821 departs the former Santa Fe station at 100 South E.K. Gaylord Boulevard at 8:25 a.m. Here we're seeing the Heartland Flyer depart Oklahoma City on time. The train has just moved up to the segment of the platform so that the passengers could begin to board. Right now you're looking towards Oklahoma City's Bricktown neighborhood, of which the station is a part. It is named as such for obvious reasons. Well, how about that? It seems that it's left maybe 2 minutes early. I love trains that use bi-level coaches. The 3 coaches on this Heartland Flyer were all superliners. Was surprised at the use of a DPU, and it's pushing, it's powered. My Indiana friends may wish to avert their eyes from that billboard. Thank goodness I gave you a sweet train to focus your eyes on. Now we can see the puffs of exhaust coming out of that DPU as the Heartland Flyer climbs out of the Bricktown area and rises in elevation to the bridge over the Oklahoma River. Great to see the Heartland Flyer on the move to Fort Worth for another day. More on that in a while. In the meantime, another great thing to see is the station. It was built by Santa Fe, opened in 1934, and was home to the Texas Chief and a train named the Chicagoan and Kansas Cityan. Those are both passenger trains. And this is a combination passenger and freight station, though today the freight portion is now shops. Both on the exterior and the interior, man, do I love the combination of Art Deco styling with other influences, possibly Native American. I do love Art Deco, and this station is really neat in the details. Very cool. The ticket window is gorgeous, and yeah, of course, I like the to the trains type detail. But look at these blocks, these recessions. These are from shells, seashells. Look at that. I found those fascinating. The station is on the National Register, so even if the Heartland Flyer would unfortunately disappear, the station will not. Okay, so in order to ride the Heartland Flyer, I had to get to either Oklahoma City or to Fort Worth, Texas. And I chose Fort Worth because I could get there via the Texas Eagle out of Chicago. And I could get to Chicago via Amtrak's Cardinal out of Indianapolis, which is close to home for me. No airplanes for me on this trip. No, sir. Now, I'll show you those trains and those cities on a future video because there's a lot that I accumulated in terms of footage in those locations. For this video, I'll show you my 2 rides on the Heartland Flyer and my stops in Fort Worth and Oklahoma City. We'll start in Fort Worth, Texas, where I had a couple of hours to wait after detraining off Amtrak's Texas Eagle. Now keep in mind, this is a short sample of what I saw in those 2 hours. I'm not showing the whole 2 hours. That would be too long a video. But this is condensed. There was a lot going on at Fort Worth. A really great place to just sit outside and watch rail action. Okay, I'm at Fort Worth. It's loud here. We got trains rumbling, idling. That's not the one I was on. That's the one I was on. I am now off of the Texas Eagle. It was a nice ride. Met some fun, interesting people in the diner car. Slept well. Got a headache, but that's nobody's fault. That just happens. And now I've got a couple of hours before taking the Heartland Flyer between here in Fort Worth and Oklahoma City. Ah, there's the observation car. Dome windows, the whole bit. Pretty good. The whole train was super liner cars.
That certainly surprised me. But then this next train next to me is all superliners too.
All right, so we've seen both Trinity Railway Express and Trinity Metro Tex Rail. Similar names, essentially the same operator. Cute names for the Metro Tex Rail trains rather than locomotive numbers, a panther there. And then we have this Amtrak Texas Eagle train, apparently needed some help with power from Union Pacific. Well, the Texas Eagle needed a little help, and Union Pacific provided. Then again, it appeared that Union Pacific needed a little help of its own in this station stop. From there, we saw a really very interesting catch.
So yeah, those Northstar coaches and locomotives, those are from the failed light rail in Minnesota. And here they are in Texas. I just looked at it as like Northstar in Texas. I mean, I know the Minnesota North Stars hockey club moved and became the Dallas Stars in the early 90s. I guess that's not the... Well, now we got two North Stars that have moved from Minnesota to Texas. Sorry, Minnesota. But very cool to catch them here in Fort Worth, I gotta say. At this point, it seems very clear that the commuter trains
Enter tracks 1 and 2 from opposite directions at the same time. Coordinated. Meets. Fun to see in action.
Look at all this train action. Fabulous. 2 freights moving, 2 commuters in a meet. My cup floweth over.
Hey, hey, my train is ready, and so am I. It crawls to the platform while that cement train continues to crawl by itself. Anyhow, the Amtrak train is a mirror image of the train shown at the beginning of this show. It just goes out and back, no turning on the Y necessary. Certainly there's no turntable anywhere to be found, so hey, locomotive on the point, locomotive on the rear, out and back, out and back. Nice. Love a bi-level coach. I was ready to jump on and run up and sit up high. Yeah, on the train, heading for Oklahoma City on the Heartland Flyer. I've been on the go for nearly 60 hours at this point to get to this point, the main objective of the trip, to ride the Heartland Flyer. And I'm grateful the windows aren't nearly as dirty as they were on the Cardinal or the Texas Eagle. Farewell, Fort Worth. Catch you in a couple days.
Now I'm on the Heartland Flyer, heading towards Oklahoma City, having just left Fort Worth. Third leg of the trip. There's a lot to see at Fort Worth, a lot of commuter action. That was fun to see. So, try to get some rest. I'm pretty booked.
Before very long, the Flyer was, well, flying. I had a window seat, which made me very happy because that meant I was able to get footage of the trains on the westerly side of the coach, where I was seated. For those who've never ridden Amtrak, coach seating is a much happier proposition than flying coach. You get actual legroom, actual elbow room, space for wider bodies, and as they advertise, no middle seats. When you recline your seat, you aren't killing the passenger behind you. Get up and walk anytime you please. Heck, leave your tray out the entire trip. No worries for things like turbulence. And of course, you're not 35,000 feet in the air, so you can actually see the things that are beside your train. The cloud cover here was telling us what was about to come. One of the last things I was able to see well, this station in Gainesville, Texas. Former Santa Fe line. All the way up to Oklahoma City, we were riding the former Santa Fe. While there wasn't any turbulence to contend with, there certainly was some dirty weather north of Gainesville. Heavy rains and flash flooding throughout southern Oklahoma. Gainesville is near the Oklahoma-Texas line. Anyway, that rain made it so that the visibility was just about nil. And then the sun set, so there isn't a lot to show from here forward, but to show how there wasn't much to see. This notification popped up on my phone, and I was darn glad to be on the high iron at that point. When there were intersections, we could see that the police had blocked them off if they were going down grade because the flash flooding was real. I mean, how many times have you seen an alert that talked about fleeing? Not much, but they were talking about it here, and what I could see, that flash flooding was real. In this area, the runoff was washing away right around the crossing gate. And that sky was so weird, the colors and dirty weather. But the train got us through safely. The next morning in Oklahoma City, you wouldn't know there was rotten weather the night before. My first act was to shoot the morning's departing Heartland Flyer, which is what we started this show with. So go back into the beginning if you want to see it again. But from there, my goal was just to explore the city. I had a day in Oklahoma City.
Okay, I'm at Oklahoma City. I've got a day here. Sadly, the baseball team is on the road. Regrettable, but that's the way it is. So my plan today is to walk on the Canal Walk, and they have a streetcar here, and they're letting you ride for free, so I'm going to ride it. I mean, I would have paid whatever the fare was. I'd have ridden it anyway, because it's going to get hot here. My northern bod is not adjusted yet to more southerly climes. Mid 80s and humid. Ugh. But I'm sitting right outside of the downtown area on the backside of the Santa Fe station, where the Heartland Flyer took me last night. It arrived late. There was some outrageous weather. I guess there were tornadoes. Didn't see any, thank God. There was heavy rain and real no joke flash flooding. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but it's something to behold, and I was grateful I was on the high iron and not on the roads, because the police were closing off roadways that dip down into low elevation areas. So the warnings they were giving was, do not be in your car unless you're fleeing. Oh, okay, all right, that's serious, that's hardcore. So anyway, I'll stay here for a little while. Maybe I'll catch another a freight train at the Santa Fe station. That would be lovely. I don't know how many trains traverse this line. The only Amtrak is the Heartland Flyer itself. Nothing else. I went to the station. The station is closed. Once the Heartland Flyer departs, they close that station down, and they don't reopen it until, I don't know, maybe an hour before the evening train departs. So yeah, here we are. It's a Ballpark station for the streetcar. There's the map, and here's the part that's really surprising. I mean, I'm happy to take a free ride. They must be getting too much revenue. So we're just getting too much money. We have to stop that nonsense. Let's let the people ride for free. Yeah, that's what it is.
Check this out. This streetcar is about to lower the pantograph so that it can clear the bridge decking as it passes under the bridge. I thought that was pretty neat. They lower that. Now, I don't know what power it operates under to get from this station stop to the other side of the underpass. Well, something powers it. But I thought that was pretty cool, watching that pantograph go down. And here the streetcar emerges, pantograph down. So there's got to be some kind of either secondary power or battery storage of that power so that they can clear items like this. I don't know. Chime in if you do.
Well, we're going to take it. I don't know where I'm going to take it to. I'm just going to take it. Let's ride. Let's go. To the trains.
I thought it was interesting watching these streetcars navigate these turns. These are tight curves. And so how do they do that? And you can see that the what do we call this? A coach? The coach is segmented. So with it being segmented the way it is, it can pivot and make the turn. Well, I wanted to see that from inside. And here you can see it rotating. Well, I said pivot before. Same thing. I imagine you don't want to stand on top of it as it makes the turn. Or maybe you do. Maybe it's like a thrill ride. Not for me, though.
Stop requested. Doors closed to your right. Please take your belongings with you.
After the streetcar fun, a walk around to include the ballpark area and the Canal Walk. See, now this is sad for me, the baseball fan. We're on Mickey Mantle Drive. Over there you've got Johnny Bench Plaza. But the Oklahoma City Club is on the road. And so no baseball for me. Sad, sad, sad. I would be here tonight if there were a game tonight. Alas. Well, I may not have gotten to see a game, but I did get inside the stadium and have a look around. It's a nice looking ballpark. And if you get the right hotel room, hey, you stay in there and watch, although I'd rather be in the park. They got one of those big grassy lawns beyond the home, or the home run fence, that is. Pretty cool. AAA affiliate of the Dodgers. Cool murals right at the ballpark, or on the ballpark itself, a wing of it. A lot of railroad references. Love it. As is right and proper. And these are nice, these little tiles. I will zoom in over at the railroad stuff. I mean, you got, look at this, you got the Katy, the Frisco, the Santa Fe, and a Crossbuck. These are water taxis. Tool around on the canals with them, apparently. Surprised I'm not seeing any kayakers. Ah, I see, yeah, the eat and drink type places. The Tipsy Tiki. Yeah, get tipsy and then take the water taxi. Don't drive. Now, it's been a pretty fruitless couple of hours here in Oklahoma City. There's been an intermodal train on the main for many hours. Now I hear a horn. I'm going to have to guess that that intermodal train is going to pick up and continue southerly across the river and towards Texas. It has to do that in order to clear the track for the Heartland Flyer to come back. So, what can you do? That's how it goes some days, right? Well, yes, indeed. Some days you're the pigeon, some days you're the statue. A good day, don't get me wrong, just hadn't really seen any freight action. These streetcars, on the other hand, saw quite a lot of. I mean, really, if you're in Oklahoma City and you want to get around, take the streetcar. It's free and they run frequently. Now look at that. Look at that huge plot under construction. They were done for the day at this point. All the vehicles parked. That's going to have to be some kind of major project. I'd be interested to know what that is. Back to our forlorn intermodal not going anywhere. Not anytime soon, not fast. I'll swing around for another look at Bricktown. Well, sorry, my Indiana friends. The Oklahoma City Thunder are big news, of course, having won the championship, as you well know, last year. And now the playoffs were starting. So the Thunder flag prominently displayed there and in other places around town, as you might expect. Well, let's take one last look at Oklahoma City, the canal below, downtown buildings, major project, hotel with the Thunder players on it, and a look at Bricktown, where I spent as much time as anywhere. Like so many cities, they took the warehouses and turned them into entertainment districts. For my purposes, without a car, very walkable. And having that streetcar, of course, helped. I was happy to be able to fly the drone. Most major cities are no-fly zones because they have so many airports nearby. Oklahoma City, on the other hand, the airport is far enough away, more than 5 miles clear of where I was flying from. So, hey, bird in the air. After a full day of checking out the city, it was time to depart on the Heartland Flyer.
I'm at the old Santa Fe station in Oklahoma City, and I am pretty darn early. So I wanted to get inside and look at this Art Deco, and it is cool. It is a really neat station. I am going to be on a very crowded train. There are a lot of riders today in Oklahoma City. We're going to Fort Worth. This is the daily Heartland Flyer that we're going to ride, and yes, here we are. See? It's the only train that comes out of this station, and we're going to ride it. So, yeah. That light. Look at the detail on that. Really cool. And then there's the ceiling. Even the floor is terrific. Look at this. It has a sort of southwestern feel, which isn't surprising, I guess, for the Santa Fe, but it's Art Deco. It's really cool. Look at all that stuff here at the ticket window. You know, they got the Operation Lifesaver stuff for the kids and a word search with very useful terms. Heartland Flyer puzzle. Maps of Oklahoma. Train safety. Yeah. Look at that. There's a whole stack of them. I should grab one and wear it the whole trip.
Happily to the trains.
The sun in my eyes. We've got a big crowd for today's Heartland Flyer. And again, it looks like it's all superliners.
One of the downsides of Amtrak coach travel? Well, a window seat is not guaranteed. First come, first seated. Because I was taking pictures and videos outside, I was among the last to board. And my neighbor at the window did not want me shooting video over him, so I only got footage when he got up for the cafe car or the bathroom. A pity because it looked so different than it did on the Heartland Flyer I rode into Oklahoma City. Alas, I was pretty happy he got up here so I could get another look at this oil refinery near Ardmore, Oklahoma. while somebody violated the headphones rule. Harumph, harumph. A pleasant time on the Heartland Flyer for my first rides on train 821 and 822, which, in all likelihood, are also my last rides on these trains.
All right, so I'll tell you the story of the probable fate of the Heartland Flyer. When I was at the station in Oklahoma City, I found a man wearing a jacket indicating he worked for Oklahoma DOT, and he was straightening up the countertops of the ticket window. Like, okay, passengers don't do that. So struck up conversation with him, and he was asking about my interest in riding the train. You know, am I going for a weekender in Fort Worth, what have you. And I told him, no, I'm riding it because I believe it's on the endangered list. And he said, yeah, oh yeah, it is. It most certainly is on the endangered list. I said, tell me more about that. And so he proceeded to. What he told me was the political will just isn't there, the funding isn't there, the states aren't coming to the table with the money necessary to fund it. They're not going to increase the fares such that the passengers pay the real cost of it going on, for fear that they would just stop using it. So it's a no-win situation, and they decided to keep running the train until the World Cup, which is expected to take people into the Dallas-Fort Worth area because some games are being hosted there for this year's World Cup. So my word to you is take that seriously, even if it's wrong, but take it seriously, because in all likelihood there's only a couple of months left to ride the Heartland Flyer. If you want to ride it, I'm here to tell you, get out there and ride it now, because your opportunity is slipping away. I'm glad I rode it when I did. I wasn't aware of that situation being that dire. I mean, I was aware it was on the endangered list, but I wasn't fully aware of just how endangered. And I have great appreciation for these things because, me being in Indiana, we used to have the Hoosier State. And I understood the Hoosier State being what it is, thanks to my pal Craig explaining that it really was, the purpose of the train wasn't so much about passenger service. It was much more about shuttling cars between Chicago, the most major hub of Amtrak activity in the United States, and Beech Grove, which is on the southeast side of Indianapolis. Those major shops there. So ferrying cars back and forth, that was the real reason. But for me, someone who enjoys taking the train and had, probably a dozen times gone to Chicago on the Hoosier State or the Cardinal, losing the Hoosier State was a blow because it used to run 7 days a week to and from Chicago with that Hoosier State. Now the Cardinal is a 3-day-a-week proposition, and what disappeared is the ability to go out and back. If you want to do a day trip. I once did a day trip with my son. Said, okay, let's go to a ball game. Let's go to Wrigley Field. We'll take the train from Indy to Chicago. We'll take the red line to Wrigley Field and then catch a game there. And from Wrigley Field, reverse and come on back. And it's a long day, yeah, but it was a day trip. And now, if you want to use the train, that's not available. And then, so flip back to Oklahoma City. If you're in Oklahoma City and you want to take the train to Fort Worth, or you want to connect to the larger system, if that train goes away, the Heartland Flyer, then you won't be able to do that at all. You'll have to fly somewhere to get going on your rail adventure. So it is what it is. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the politics. You want to sit down with me over an unsweetened tea with lots of lemon, we can do that. And I'm not going to do that here. All I'm going to say to you here is, if you intend to ride the Heartland Flyer, get busy, set it up now, get in action, get on that train, because the opportunity may well be gone before the summer's over.
All right, so now on the screen It's the schedule for the World Cup games being played in Dallas. And you'll note the last date is July 14th. My pal Craig Bell, a former Amtrak employee, has pointed out to me that Amtrak's fiscal year ends September 30th of each year. So, will the train make its last run in July? August? September? Only time will tell. Thanks for hopping aboard for this edition of Bituminous Kole. Join me again next time, and I'll take you once more to the trains!